Hi everyone, so I'm finally going to do the Draw My Life tag. I know it's been a while since a lot of people have been doing it, but why not start? Anyway, so I am from Florida, just a little background information before I get into it, and I currently live in California. My parents met in Florida. Obviously, my mom was on vacation, and she thought my daddy was a cutie, so they got together, got married. So my mom decided to obviously have a baby, and it didn't really work out. She had 9 miscarriages, which led to a lot of depression and struggle in our family. But then she had me, which kind of makes me a miracle child, if you could say that if you want. I don't really know, but yeah. So she ended up having me, and it was basically a miracle to her.
I can see in my dreams.
So that little blob there in her hands is me, and we were a happy family, basically. I guess you could say pretty dysfunctional, but still pretty happy.
Please tell me what it is.
So growing up, I did a lot of swimming, a lot of running, and several triathlons. Triathlons is just a swim, bike, and run race, which my whole entire family has done and still does to this day.
But I feel better when I sing. Like I can do most anything. You can heal my open wound when you hum along my tunes.
So at a triathlon one day, I was in transition from swim to bike, and my shoe was untied, and my shoe actually got stuck in the wheel, and I flung forward, broke my braces, and I still have scars all over my hands from it. Now, to avoid the really depressing, childhood bad memories, I'm just going to go straight to January of 2008, which was a really hard year for me. Basically, my parents sat me down and told me some news that I would never, ever forget. In 1 hour, I found out that I was moving to California. My parents were getting divorced, and some other things had happened, so it was really, really hard for me. And at first, I was really upset with my parents, but in the end, as long as they're happy, I'm happy too. So, of course, you can't really have a long-distance relationship, especially when you're 15 years old. So I was in a pretty serious relationship with this guy. He was my first love, and we had to break it off, which hurt really bad. Another thing I had to leave, or person I had to leave, was my best friend Courtney, which we still keep in touch to this day, 5 years later, but it was really hard leaving her, because she was my bestest friend of all time.
Some friends so dear to me.
So before I left, I kind of went downhill. I didn't really want to leave at the beginning, so I joined the wrong group of friends and started doing some things that I just don't even want to mention. So I kind of went downhill from there, and I left my best friend in the process of it. But we forgive each other, or she forgave me at least, and we moved on from it.
So please try to understand.
So divorce is never easy, and no one was expecting my parents to get divorced, not even our good family friends. No one was expecting it, so it was kind of hard for me to cope with. But then I kind of started to realize that it was a new start and that I could really, really benefit from this move. So we packed all of our stuff and moved all the way to California to meet my mom's one true love.
I will rise and I will fall and I will run.
So when we were moving to California, we took our dogs, we took everything with us, obviously, and it was pretty difficult moving everything over there. I didn't know many people. I went on MySpace when MySpace was still around and actually met some people that were going to my school, which was pretty awesome. My roommate is actually drawing this right now, so. Oh my God. Since I moved from Florida, we moved so many times. First, we moved into this little house where my mom's boyfriend lived, and then we moved like 10 minutes away, and then we moved back to where my mom's boyfriend lived. So we did a lot of moving, and I finally warmed up to him, and I finally actually call him my dad because he's been there for me through so much, and I couldn't live without him.
Work till the end.
I remember when I first met my stepbrother, and it was kind of hard because he hated us. He didn't want anything to do with us, and same with my stepdad's two other kids. They just did not like us. But it kind of worked out in the end, and it's still working itself out 5 years later, but it's gonna get better eventually. So then I went to St. Mary's High School, which is in my hometown, or where I grew up for the past 5 years, and I didn't really like it. I mean, a lot of people actually do like high school, but I definitely didn't. I struggled with boyfriends in high school. I stayed with them each about a year and a half, but it always broke off. Either they were hurting me in some way, or it just wasn't working out anymore. So I had a boyfriend all throughout high school, which I don't suggest that you girls do, because you should enjoy your high school years, and I surely didn't with these guys. So there's another one, and broke that off about a year later. And then the last one actually lasted a pretty long time, a year and a half. We stayed together through the first year of college after senior year, and it was pretty nice. I mean, he was a great guy, great friend in the end, but now it's kind of distancing ourselves a little bit because it was kind of a hard breakup, but we learned from it, and he actually goes to Chico State, or went to Chico State, still does, and so I decided to go visit him a lot, and I actually fell in love with the school.
Things would be different if they never came.
So in January of 2013, I actually broke up with him. I moved to Chico, and I felt like I needed a new start, and we just weren't compatible anymore, nothing in common, and that happens in relationships, but things happen. So then I packed all of my stuff and I moved all the way to Chico, and started community college at this local college called Butte College, and I got my AA degree, and everything worked out really well. I moved in with 2 girls I did not know at all, but again, it worked out really well in the end, and we're still really good friends to this day. So then when I moved into this house, YouTube became a huge part of my life, and I don't know what I would do without it. I'm not very well known on it yet, but I know I'm making a difference each day when I put some type of video up helping you guys, so it really helps me cope with my day in general. So as for school, I went to Delta College in where I'm from, the 5 years that I went or stayed in. Went to Delta College for a year and a half, then went to Butte College and got my AA, like I said before, in science, social sciences, which has nothing to do with my major, but it still works as an AA. I really enjoyed Butte College, but I'm really excited to be at an actual university now with my roommates.
When I was young, I fell in love, and I've been falling ever since with the way.
So a cool thing about Butte College was that I actually got to plan my own runway show, and I got a bunch of models together to create one, and it turned out really, really well, and we were all extremely proud of ourselves. Then came moving in with my roommates. These 2 girls are just absolutely amazing. They are hilarious and we never have a dull moment. So moving in with them was honestly the best decision I've ever made, and it's going to be for the next year. So we're going to have great times. We already have. So this summer was very boring other than training. As you guys know, I do train MMA, I do Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and boxing, which I've been very focused on this whole summer, which has gave me a lot of discipline and has made me a lot more humble. So now it's present day, and I am still doing the same old that I usually do. First of all, I am obviously going to school. We start on Monday, and I'm very excited to start at a university. I am still doing MMA training, and it's going to be kind of tough to do it every night, but that's because I got a job at a thrift store, which I'm very, very excited about. I am the visual merchandiser at Chico's Arc thrift store. And then I am also a teacher to young girls for modeling, which is amazing. I love it. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you so much for subscribing, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!